Corla. Minister, in the late 1990s, when Brendan Howlin was Minister for the Environment, a comprehensive review of the funding of local authorities was undertaken, including how water should be provided and funded. And KPMG consultants were engaged at the time and issued a written report. And I'll just quote from that report, where they concluded that the metering of domestic water supplies would be an uneconomic proposition having regard to the revenue generated. The charge for domestic water and sewerage facilities is thus more in the nature of a tax and should be, in the government's view, consolidated into general taxation. Now, at that time, it was agreed that the local authorities would receive all of the motor taxation in order to fund those services. But of course, when this government came to power, you changed that and decided to put the hands into that money, take it from the local authorities and instead transfer it to pay the banking debt, and think that you can dress that up now in yet another austerity charge to get people to pay again for something that they have already paid for. And you would think, listening to the government, that there was never a pipe fixed, there was never any investment undertaken or anything like that. The reality is, in the 1990s, the Dublin local authorities got leakage rates down to very acceptable best practice international levels simply by investment. And instead of wasting hundreds of millions, as is being done, to install water meters, to set up this giant quango, investing in the infrastructure is a far better way forward. Now, people are obviously very upset at the bonus culture, particularly against what's happening in ordinary work for ordinary people. They're upset by the discourtesy of Irish Water. They're upset at the mess that's underway. But the big problem is that they cannot afford to pay, and they won't pay for something that they've paid for already. And the last point I want to make is this idea, the affront that Michael Noonan would say that this was a modest charge, is sickening. And the very reason that the assessed charge is continuing is that the charges are going to be astronomical. I was at a packed public meeting in New Ross the other night. People showed me their meter readings. A meter that was installed in July is now reading 93,000 units. A man showed me his meter went up 3,500 litres between Sunday and the meeting on Wednesday. These bills are going to be absolutely astronomical, and the movement against them will be even bigger on November 1st.